Holy shit, it actually worked.
What is going on YouTube? So, long time no see. We got this little guy over here to blame for that. Watch out, dog. This little guy. You say hello? Will you say hello? Will you say hello? No? Well, anyway, so this is J4. J4's been taking up all of my time lately. There's Bow Dog. There's the fish tank. Clam. This is today's project though. So, this is a Minn kota, Riptide, 112 pound, 36 volt trolling motor. I bought this used on Facebook Marketplace. No, that's the dog. He wants to go outside. Anyway, bought this used on Facebook Marketplace. Can we turn this down? We gotta turn it down. It's too loud. Alright, we're back. We had to turn that down. That was getting a little crazy. We got non-stop YouTube going on here. Baby, Abilene. So, this is Minn kota Riptide, 36 volt, 112 foot-pound, 60-inch shaft trolling motor. And as you can see, we have it all torn apart. I bought it used on Facebook Marketplace for 400 bucks. If you know these trolling motors, new, they're $2,100 plus tax. Used, they're anywhere from $1,000 to $1,800. This is a spot lock trolling motor, so it has the iPilot, the GPS, and all of that good stuff. So when I bought it, the guy said it would not turn left or right. It would only... Dog, we're not going outside. Stop it. So anyway, it would not turn left and right. You could use the remote, you could turn the prop on, it would spin, it would do its thing, but it wouldn't turn left or right. So that is where this piece comes in. This is all really simple. There's no real videos online showing any of this stuff, but all of these, so these plates, these covers go on, they go that way, this one goes this way. Everything's just got a couple of screws in it. So two screws, these are off. The motor part has a bar that goes through it. Right there. There's a bar that goes through there. It's got these push, that's just like a push connector. So the push, you just basically pry that off, hammer this out, then the steering assembly comes off. When I bought this used, the guy said he just replaced the control board. Now these two wires here, this white and black wire, and as you can see in the schematic here, it comes with the control board. There's a whole schematic of which wires go where. Those send the voltage, these two wires, they send the voltage to the steering housing, as you can see here, to make it steer. So, I hooked this up to the 36 volt batteries, put my multimeter to these two leads, and tried to steer it. And I got nothing. No power whatsoever. So, I figured that this board, even though it was brand new, maybe it was a bad board. Like it just arrived bad. As you can see, it has a date of... Come on, focus, 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 focus. I don't know why it won't focus. But anyway, the date, if you can see that, is 2021. We're in 2023. So the board is, even though it's brand spanking new out of the package, like this one here, it's been sitting on the shelf since 2021. So I thought maybe it would be bad. This was the original board. That was in there. Well, luckily, and unluckily, the guy that I bought it from had the receipt for the remote in the bag from where he purchased it. So I called the company he purchased it from and said, hey, I have no power from these two terminals going to the motor. I know the board's brand new, but maybe it was bad because it's been sitting on a shelf. They said, yeah, no problem. We'll swap it out. So they gave me a brand new board. Swapped it out, replaced it. I put it in, I tested, I had power from these. So I hooked up the motor, which at this time the motor was still in place. So hooked up the motor. It turned left for about a quarter of a rotation, and then I heard a snap, no more power. So now I'm like, what the heck? Pull these two wires, try to turn again. No voltage to my turning wires, once again with the multimeter. So then I took these leads and I jumped them. First I just jumped it with 12 volts because I have this thing I can show you guys in a minute. It's called a power probe. You hook it up to a 12 volt source and it's basically like a test light, but you can apply voltage through it to test things. So I hooked it up to this. I gave this 12 volts and it turned. The motor turned left, the motor turned right. So I figured it was good. Well, then I started doing some research and this gets 36 volts of power. So I applied 36 volts to it. And as you can see, now that I have it all torn apart, it did not like having 36 volts applied to it. There's two motors, they sit down in here like this. And so when I applied 36 volts to it, only one motor was spinning. As you can hear, this one's kind of quiet. This one, I don't know if you can hear it, but this one kind of sounds like it's full of sand. Well, this motor did not turn, and the entire thing, when it was getting 36 volts, started pouring smoke out of it. So I pulled it apart, found out the motor wasn't spinning, it was overamping, and it shorted out the control board. So brand new control board that I just got them to swap me with, shorted out from bad turning steering motors. Unfortunately, this year you can't buy the steering motors. I did find one place that had them, but as you can see, looking inside this gear housing, it's all corroded. It looks like some water was getting in there. Everything kind of is like rough to turn. And a couple of the screws actually, like as you can see right there, there's a screw still sticking out. The screws broke off when I was taking it apart. So luckily, same people I got the control board from, they sell the entire assembly. Now, I'm gonna post a picture to the thing from the one website. All the research I did, only one website had on this that, like, you see here how this says note. Why is nothing focusing? Well, anyway, so this says note, and it has a little note that you gotta make sure you wire it correctly. Well, there was one website online I found that said specifically, after I figured out that my motor's now fried my board, that if you lose steering in these trolling motors, you need to apply the 36 volts or 24 volts or 12 volts, whatever your trolling motor is, to the steering motor while testing it for amp draw. If it draws more than, I want to say it was 5 amps while it's trying to turn the motors, it will fry your brand new control board. It'll fry it. And this is not cheap. This thing was like, I want to say $400 from the place I got it from. They're like $650 from Minn Kota. Not cheap. I ended up having to buy another one, right here, brand new one, because, like I said, my steering box fried this one. Luckily, the people that I bought this one from were nice, and they told me the control board at cost, and then I paid whatever their retail price is for the steering box, which I'm still, brand new steering box. This was 220 bucks, I think. Brand new control board for, I think at their cost it was like 250 or 300 bucks. So 550 plus the 400 I bought this thing for. I'm at 900 bucks roughly. Right? 4 and 5 and 4 is 950. So we're still cheaper than any used one I've seen online. So now I'm going to show you guys how to put it all back together if this ever happens to you. So when you get the control board, it comes with all the schematics. It shows you where all the wires go. I just pulled all the wires off of it, so we got just a plain Jane control board. Right here on the side, there is one screw. I'm gonna push this down, pull that up. There's 2 screws. 1, 2. This one's already out because, as you can see, I've got this thing all torn apart. So, control board, out of here. Now we're going to take our brand new control board. What do you got? Over here. Sorry about the crying baby. Now that I got that taken care of, baby's not crying no more, so we're going to put all the bad parts over here. So, like I said, just you want to make sure, if you have this problem, to check the amp draw on your steering box. Otherwise, you will fry your brand new control board, which you don't want to do. Now, these control boards, they come packaged really nice. They come in this. Comes with all the heat shrink. Oops. The little straps, a couple little screws. Really nice setup. Come on, buddy. As you can see, even on this one, brand new board, but it says 2022 on it. Now we're gonna set this guy right in there like so. So, one screw in, my other parts, some screws and stuff everywhere. Alright, so that's in there. These will all hang out in here. Right. Brand new steering box. Now, this thing goes like so. Like I said before, we have this choker. So, if you can't see, so basically there's a hole right there. This thing's kind of slotted, so pin pushes in. I'm just pushing the pin through. I'm gonna have to do this again to raise this thing up. Right, come on. Line up. This pin right there. Oh, wait, hold on. Forgetting stuff. As you can see, kind of floppy. Seeing it be all floppy, reminded me, these 2 pieces from the old one. So these go in the side. I need to wipe my hands off. I'm all covered in grease. So, we got that where that goes. Alright, got that going in. Right there. All right, so now, as you can see, you have the pin through. You got it sticking through on both sides so it can catch. And this is the little ring I was talking about. So this ring, it's, hold on, let me mount you guys back up on the chair. So this little ring goes on that. Good? Oh gosh. Now, it goes on there like that. I'm gonna try to find something I can smack it on with. I'm gonna go get a socket real quick because I gotta beat that thing on there. Be right back. So, I'm back. Basically, just got a socket that I know will fit over that, but isn't too big so it still catches the ring, wherever the ring went. So now, what I'm gonna do, oh gosh, so I'm gonna put the ring on. Now these, I don't know if you can see that, but it's tapered a certain direction. So once it goes on, the little tabs bend and they kind of lock on. So you want to keep it facing the same direction. So we're gonna just all right.
2,000 years later.
Okay, figured out my problem. This only go on so far and then it's hitting, so I had to flip it around. So now that's in place. So that is what locks the trolling motor in place once it's down and in its hole. So now you got your steering wire. Those go to the lights, those go to that. Just want to make sure. Before you connect said wires, slide your heat shrink over it. So, two nice pieces of heat shrink. Comes with the kit. Plug your wire in. Plug your wire in. Got our heat shrink. Now, we have these two. Same thing. We're going to put our heat shrink on. Heat shrink over everything. That one, this one needs a longer one. Touch these. They're in all the way. These lights poke in here. Want the green one. The green one. Alright, we'll put the lights in when we're ready to put the lights in. This little guy. This little guy goes in there. Now, I gotta get a piece of tape. There was a little sticker that kind of holds this thing in, but none of these seem to come with a sticker. And we're gonna use a little sticker. That's basically all that holds that guy in. We'll dab a super glue on this guy because that doesn't really hold it in very well. And I don't like that. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna rotate a little bit. I'll leave that right there. Let that dry. Basically, what that guy does, that little white guy, there's a magnet in this piece right here. So when you put the foot pedal down and when it comes back up, that's what triggers everything to turn on. Now this piece, we take all these, get these out of the way. That piece goes in there like so. We've already got our heat shrink on these. This is our motor connections. So if we refer back to set of instructions, as you can see here, the motor comes up. The negative black one on the motor goes to this one. Be this one. So this one goes here. This goes there. We're going to put our heat shrink down over there. That's there. And then the red from the motor goes to this one over here. I'm going to plug that one on. We got that all plugged on there. And the motor shows 1, 2. This one goes to here. So we take this first one, we connect it to here. And there's a flat spot and the 2 dots. You just line the flat spot up. As you can see, that plugs together there. Actually, I'm not sure there is because got all this heat shrink they gave us. Cool. I'm gonna put heat shrink on there so we can heat shrink this connector. Even though this thing seals really good. So that's all connected. Now, I don't have a foot pedal, otherwise this one would hang out. I'm just going to leave it in because, like I said, don't have a foot pedal. Actually, I'll put it out. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can. Oh, yeah, I can get it out underneath there. So we gotta go. No, we'll just release it to go up. That does that. Put this through and under there. This one we're just going to leave laying down in here.
No.
And then we have our power wires that we have to run up inside of here. So these come up through here like so. And we refer back to our thing. The negative wire comes back here and connects to the board. And this positive wire goes right here and connects to the board. Then this guy, which goes here and holds all of our wires down. Like I said, that one I'm just going to leave tucked in there. So we're going to go like so.
Well, if you decide you want to just do all one, and you can just re-expunge the extensions, that's not a big deal.
So that goes right there like so. Holds them wires in place. And just screw back on that.
Well, we could do like a tiny root cap, so it's not like super long, but it's still like when you pull it up, it looks like you're so it's not like this long thing on here.
We got that wire there. We got that wire. Leave some slack. Put some slack on those.
Yeah.
Tighten it down. So that holds all this.
It's okay.
Actually, we're going to put a little more slack on this.
So it gives us time. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the invoice so I can.
Alright, so there's good enough slack. Well, that's good. Put that on
I
there.
mean, I had it back in the day. But I
This.
was more like punk rock than. Yeah, it was.
Now, another thing. In order to remove the shaft from here, you have to take the head apart. And these were like heat shrinked and all jacked up like crazy. So I tried to cut them and pull them apart. I got this one apart, but it's still all jacked up. So I'm actually going to undo these two screws.
No, not at all.
And this one, you can see that wire is kind of messed up anyway. I'm going to cut that and just heat shrink and recrimp those. I'll make a video on that. Well, I'll keep going here a little later on. So all this is in. I got to find the torch and heat shrink everything, and then I'll see y'all in a little bit. Quick tip. Before you go through and heat shrink everything, make sure you put the wires through the corresponding holes. Damn it! Alright, as we can see, now we have the wire where the wire goes. I'm just gonna reheat shrink these. I heat shrunk all these. I gotta put the lights in there. So one's on the front, red, green. So let's take that. So we got the shaft back in it. Turning piece back on it. I need to get another battery. My last trolling motor was only 24 volts, so I don't have the battery. This, oh. I don't know why this thing is not focusing. Anyway, as you can see, that connection, bare wire was showing. And these connections were horrible, so cut it. Use some nice heat shrink connectors. Is that better? Is it focusing now? Let me see. All right, we're back. I know this probably isn't the best way to do it, but I don't have another battery. So, got that all buttoned up, all nice, new connections in there. New board, new steering motor, basically new trolling motor. So, let me see if I can clip this on something. So, now, I've got it connected to the golf cart because it's 36 volts and I don't have a 36 volt battery yet. Hey! Oh, yeah, let's do this real quick. We don't turn too much. Put my foot on here. Oop, come up a little higher. Alright, we're locked in. Let's see what we got. I can hold you guys now. Alright, so remote. Prop moves. Hey, and we can turn. Everything works as it should. Man, that makes me happy. Now, next step is to mount it on the boat. I'll see y'all inside.